Yo, it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. And on this episode, we have moi. Moi. That means me. I don't know what language that is. Anyway, it means me, and I am in my 50 TP Polish Tier 9 heavy tank, which I'm grinding and grinding. So this one is going to be called You're an Idiot. No, it's not going to be called that. I had a lot of names for this, and as I was watching it, the first one was You Are a Worthless. No, but Worthless was actually one of the titles I was going to have. And basically, it was talking about some teammates who are worthless and whining about that and whatnot. But then I watched it and I considered, you know what, this is an interesting battle for me because I'm here and I don't usually go right here. Not very often. There's a little bounce for that guy. And the reason I went here is a good reason, at least I think so. It's because we took the hill and driving up onto the ramp right there and poking over and shooting at TDs in the back or whatever, or putting another tank on the hill wasn't really what we needed right here. We needed somebody to come over here and stop this giant glob of red guys from turning the corner. Now we've got the hill, so stopping them from turning the corner from the hill can be done, but there's a lot of opportunity here, and we're going to stop them from sweeping around this corner. We've got quite a few TDs back there as well. So I'm talking about all that because it's kind of a good example of the evolution of my game, which has happened a little bit in the recent past. You know, for a long time I did the same thing over and over and over again. If you do that, same thing over and over again, that's fine if it's working. But what if it stops working as well, or stops working at all? It's time to evolve. A little shot into his side turret. That's nice when they turn their turret and let you get that nice flat plate shot right there. So I have evolved a little bit, and it is maybe a little more careful, although it is reacting to the battle flow a little more than simply trying to get to critical terrain and owning that critical terrain no matter what, by God. So this has been a learning process for me, and sometimes I get it wrong, and it talks a lot about this game, flexing, going to the right spots, which is always a good topic in this game, and it's always a good thing to do. But early on, I tended to go, and still do really to a large extent, I still think it's an overall good tactic, go to the critical terrain and try to own that critical terrain. But what if the game's just a little bit different and it's not quite meta? Try to stop forcing it to be meta. Try to stop forcing it to be meta. So we're not going to call this You're an Idiot, although I kind of, well, you're going to see this E75. You'll start to see one of the reasons why I was about to call this Worthless, or just you're an idiot. No, he's not an idiot. But he's a renamed user. That means he had some kind of naughty name that somebody didn't like. So we'll come in here and we'll get this 257 out. No, we'll leave 5 hit points. And now my friend has jammed me and I can't get away. So instead of working in echelon with me, he cuts me off. And now he's going to get us both hit. But I took just a little, so we'll come around here and see if we can't put a little shot in that guy. Nope, we're going to... Bad shot. I mean, he was well angled. And I didn't really aim very well there. Probably had a really good shot. If I took a little time, I might have had a really good shot in that weird little flat plate on the front, where it's got the 45-degree angle or so. And when he angles the rest of his tank, his front and his side, that one is often flat-plated to you, and you've got a pretty good chance of punching through that. The pen on this thing is a little bit anemic, and I've run out of gold because I dabbed 2 and fired away. And we've got that TVP sitting up there. Starting to win a bit. No, it looks like it's even now. Now we're winning. Nope, now it's more even again. Back and forth, back and forth. That plate's not going to be pinned. I should have taken some time. Little HE. Why am I shooting HE? Oh, I probably tried to fix something and goobered that up. I did not realize that in game. Did not realize that in game, but now I have, and I've gone back to my AP. So we're not going to call it You're an Idiot or Worthless, although there are some people who are acting that way a little bit in this game. And we're going to talk a little bit more about, hey, just react to the fight, right? You don't have to try to make the fight mold to what you think it needs to be. Although if you are in a position to do so, if you can dictate it and mold it, then go ahead and do that. But sometimes, as an example here, I just needed to get over there and stop those guys from coming around the corner. Get some hit points there. E75 gets a shot on him. I miss. Thinking about going up the hill here, which I do. So we'll go ahead and move around. The Type 4 is problematic. I don't want to sit there and trade derps in the face with him and then get shot in the side by the TVP. So that well has run dry, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'm probably better at that mid to late game than early game. Early game, like I said, I tended to go to that critical spot and fight there till I died. And sometimes I'd be smart enough to move or flex, or the picture would be such that it would be very obvious that I needed to move or flex. I think we all do that to some extent. But now we're in more of the mid game, and we've got the hill, so I can move around and see if we can't get this Type 4, who has somewhat foolishly moved up. It was an interesting decision for me for him to do that. I was looking, I knew that TVP would be there, although I probably proxy lit by the Type 4 as well. So I'm looking for an opportunity. I'm thinking about coming off of the back edge here, but two things. The TVP is there, and the Type 4 has a lot of hit points, which is going to be mitigated here in just a moment. Wham, somebody's hit him, and now I look at him and go, ooh, he's about a one-shot. All I need is a decent roll. We'll take this guy down, so we'll come out here and right into that back deck, take him down, and push on in. And this is the second part of the "you are an idiot." The Object 420 did a nice job. Take the hill. He gets a lot of damage in this game. So he comes off the back edge as well. He's right there behind me. And we've got to dig out this TVP. So the first guy's got to go as him. Although we know there's a Tiger 2 on our right. So it's a bit of a tricky situation. And the 430 version 2, there I get hit by him and don't get a light. That's always fantastic. And now the 430 version 2 is yelling for help. And I'm thinking, dude, we are the help. Why are you yelling for help? You know where they are. Go light the guy up. Let's get him. So, of course, I have to do it. Figured I'd get hit by the Tiger 2, but we're looking pretty good. And that would have been fun if it hit, but it didn't. So come around here. TVP has probably fired all his shots. Looks like he's trying to get away and hide here. I had the hit points to get. Late game, it's time to get rid of this guy, and down he goes. Cover up. The 50 TP is way in the corner. The Sturv is camping on the cap, last known anyway, or over to the west of the cap. And the Tiger 2 is here alone, so he is now getting eaten up by all of us. I'm thinking, yes, no. Yes, no. No kill. And now we will push. And there goes the 430. Looks like he's feeling confident, charging forward, looking for the light, and at least that part of it I did appreciate. I was a little unsure of what his plan was, and really what he did is he moved in there waiting for me to move forward, light these guys up so he could get some shots. Now granted, he is a relatively low hit point, so just a couple shots from the TVP would have taken him out. 2, maybe 3. 3 definitely, had they all hit and pinned. So we'll keep on pushing in here. I'm at 3,491. We still have the hill. Not really sure why the E75 is hanging out there, but he is. I guess probably that's not a bad idea. Sturv has really good vision and accuracy, and look how far that guy got. He went all the way over there. He changed the fight a little bit. That was a good move on his part, minus the fact that he sat in the back corner the entire game, but you can't have everything, I guess. We've got the Sturv over there, so we're going to go look for him. And this is where we start to close in. Plenty of guns, just looking for somebody to get a light. And the 430, much to his credit at this point, is getting out front, looking for lights. There we go. A nice side shot. No damage for you. Critical hit, but that was good. That tracked him. Keeping him from moving. He's got a bad crew. I think that also tracked him. There we go. We get the light back. And we put another shot. That tracked him. Fantastic, and he's probably going to, there we go, down he goes. And I don't get a shot on the 50 TP, they do track him down eventually. So 4,113, just kind of an interesting little game where, talking about a little bit of a change of, I guess what's a word I'm looking for, a little bit of a change of strategy, I guess, for me. Trying to open up the aperture a little bit, The game has become quite a bit more campy. You do have to be a bit more careful. The upper tiers especially, which is something I've had a hard time learning because at tier 6, 7, and 8, you can really rage around quite a bit. When you get to 9 and 10, you do have to be quite a bit more careful, or you're going to lose a lot of hit points really early and then just be very ineffective the rest of the game. Plus, you add to that the campy nature of the game at this point, the artillery added in on top of that, although they weren't a huge issue on this map or this match in particular. And then maybe just dialing back a little bit to the, hey, get to the critical terrain, that's where you have to be and fight, to looking at it and making sure that, all right, what is the actual situation in the match? And do I really need to go to the critical terrain, i.e. get up on the hill, or should I maybe flex in this case? The hill's taken care of. Maybe I'll head over to this area. And it, really, at the end of the day, as long as you're keeping your gun in the game and going to where you're needed at that point, then you're doing the right thing. As long as you're firing, as long as you're engaging, that is definitely better than sitting in the back and doing nothing. So hope you guys learned a little bit here. It's been a bit of an evolution for me, I think, lately. One of the interesting things about getting more and more subscribers is I'm getting a lot more opinions. And I will credit that to a large extent to me starting to think a little bit more about how I actually play the game. So I think at the end of the day, that's going to make me a better player. And hopefully everyone's coming to this channel and watching this for exactly the same thing. And there's no reason why I can't learn while you guys learn. I'm not going to say that I know everything, even though I do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to say I know everything. So I hope it helped you. See ya.